My partner cheated on me with my best friend. 4 years later, they want me back. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I have a story that's sure to tug at your heartstrings. Imagine finding out that your partner cheated on you with your best friend, only for them to come crawling back years later. It's a tale of heartbreak, growth, and ultimately, redemption. Let's dive into the story. 4 years ago, I was in what I thought was the perfect relationship. My partner, let's call him Alex, and I had been together for 3 years. We met in college and quickly became inseparable. We had the kind of relationship everyone envied, or so I thought. We shared dreams of traveling the world, starting a family, and growing old together. My best friend, Jessica, was also a huge part of my life. She had been my rock since high school, and the three of us often hung out together. One fateful day, I noticed that Alex and Jessica had become unusually close. At first, I didn't think much of it. They were my two favorite people, and I was happy they got along so well. But then, I started seeing little signs, lingering looks, inside jokes I wasn't a part of, and a palpable tension whenever the three of us were together. I pushed these thoughts aside, convincing myself that I was being paranoid. Then came the day that shattered my world. I had planned a surprise for Alex's birthday and needed Jessica's help. I went to her apartment unannounced, expecting to find her alone and ready to help with the preparations. Instead, I found her in bed with Alex. The shock, the betrayal, it felt like a nightmare. I stood there, frozen, as they scrambled to cover up. Alex tried to explain, but the damage was done. I couldn't listen. I walked out, feeling like my heart had been ripped from my chest. In the days that followed, I was a mess. I couldn't eat, sleep, or think straight. The betrayal cut deep. My partner and my best friend, the two people I trusted most, had shattered my world. Friends and family rallied around me, offering support and comfort, but it felt like nothing could mend the broken pieces of my heart. I moved out of the apartment I shared with Alex and found a small place on my own. I cut off all contact with both him and Jessica. They tried to reach out, to apologize, but I needed space to heal. I threw myself into my work, taking on extra projects to keep my mind occupied. I also started seeing a therapist, who helped me process my emotions and begin the long journey of healing. As time passed, I slowly started to rebuild my life. I rediscovered hobbies I had neglected, made new friends, and even started traveling solo, something I had always wanted to do but never had the courage to try. Each trip became a step towards reclaiming my independence and finding myself again. Fast forward 4 years, and I was in a much better place. I had a great job, wonderful friends, and a sense of peace I hadn't felt in a long time. I had even started dating again, though cautiously. I was no longer the broken person I had been. I had grown stronger and more resilient. Then, out of the blue, I received a message from Alex. Seeing his name on my phone brought back a flood of memories and emotions. I hesitated, but curiosity got the better of me. I opened the message, and it was a lengthy apology. He admitted to his mistakes, expressed deep regret, and asked if we could meet to talk. He said that losing me had been the biggest regret of his life and that he had broken things off with Jessica shortly after our breakup. My initial reaction was anger. How dare he try to waltz back into my life after all this time? But as the days went by, I found myself contemplating his request. I had moved on, but part of me wanted closure. After discussing it with my therapist and friends, I decided to meet him. We agreed to meet at a quiet cafe. When I saw him, I barely recognized him. He looked older, more worn, and there was a sadness in his eyes that hadn't been there before. We sat down, and he began to talk. He apologized profusely, explaining how he had realized his mistakes and how losing me had made him understand what he had thrown away. He told me about the struggles he had faced, and how he had worked on himself to become a better person. As I listened, I felt a strange sense of relief. It wasn't about forgiving him or taking him back, it was about understanding that I had truly moved on. I told him that I appreciated his apology, but that my life had changed. I had changed. I wasn't the same person who had been shattered by his betrayal. I had built a new life for myself, one that didn't include him. He nodded, tears in his eyes, and told me that he understood. He wished me well and left, leaving me with a sense of closure I hadn't realized I needed. Walking out of that cafe, I felt lighter, as if a weight I had been carrying for years had finally been lifted. In the weeks that followed, I found myself reflecting on my journey. Alex's betrayal had been devastating, but it had also set me on a path of self-discovery and growth. I had learned to rely on myself, to find strength in my own company, and to build a life that I loved. I had become the person I was always meant to be, and for that, I was grateful. To anyone out there dealing with betrayal or heartbreak, know that it's okay to feel pain and anger. It's okay to take your time to heal. But also know that you have the power to rise above it, to rebuild your life, and to become stronger than ever before. Sometimes, the most painful experiences can lead to the most profound growth. And that's the story of how I went from being betrayed by my partner and best friend to finding peace and closure. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Have you ever had a similar experience? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.